the man allegedly responsible for the tragic and untimely death of actor Jonathan Joss, best known for lending his voice to the character John Redcorn in the beloved animated series King of the Hill, has been apprehended and is now in police custody. Official records confirm that the suspect, identified as Sigfrido Alvarez Ceja, was arrested in Texas on the evening of Sunday, June 1st at precisely 7:05 p.m. This marks a significant development in a case that has left fans, neighbors, and the entertainment community in a state of shock and mourning. Authorities have charged Ceja with felony first-degree murder, a grave accusation that reflects the severity of the incident. As it stands, his bond has been set at $200,000, signaling the high-profile nature of the case. Sources familiar with the matter have indicated to the Post that a court date for Ceja is already on the calendar and scheduled to take place in August, where more details about the incident may come to light. The situation has stirred widespread attention due to the notoriety of the victim, whose distinctive voice and impactful performances brought a unique energy to animated television and made a lasting impression on audiences around the world. Jonathan Joss, whose portrayal of John Redcorn resonated with viewers for its cultural significance and emotional depth, was reportedly shot and killed by his neighbor, believed to be none other than Ceja, following what has been described as a heated altercation between the two men. According to law enforcement accounts, the dispute quickly escalated when Ceja allegedly pulled out a firearm and discharged it multiple times, striking Joss in a barrage of bullets. The suspect then fled the scene in a vehicle, leaving behind a community in turmoil and a man critically injured. Despite the rapid response of first responders, who were called to the scene following reports of an active shooting, it was tragically too late for Joss. Emergency medical technicians attempted to save his life, but he was ultimately pronounced dead at the scene, a devastating end to what should have been an ordinary day. What makes this crime even more disturbing is the suggestion that it may have been the culmination of a long-standing and increasingly volatile relationship between the two men. Neighbors who live in the area told TMZ that Joss and Ceja had been at odds for quite some time. Their feud, according to those familiar with the matter, was no secret in the community. Reports indicate that their clashes were not merely verbal but had escalated into physical confrontations in the past, raising concerns among those who knew both parties. The underlying tensions between the two men seemed to be simmering beneath the surface, waiting for a moment to boil over. Tragically, it appears that Sunday was that moment. In a particularly harrowing detail, neighbors recalled a recent incident that may have contributed to the mounting stress and desperation in Joss's life. Earlier this year in February, Joss's home reportedly burned down under tragic circumstances. Sources claim that he had been using a barbecue pit inside the house as a makeshift heating device after having his electricity shut off. Consequences were dire, as the unconventional and dangerous heating method allegedly caused a fire that destroyed his home. The psychological and emotional toll of such an event cannot be understated, and those close to Joss say he had never fully recovered from the loss. On the day of the shooting, neighbors claim that Joss returned to the ruins of his former home with the intent of collecting a fire relief check intended for victims of house fires. What he encountered there added another layer of heartbreak to an already tragic narrative. While combing through the remains of the property, Joss allegedly discovered the skeletal remains of one of his cherished dogs who perished in the fire. Those who knew the actor described him as an animal lover with a deep bond to his pets, and the emotional weight of such a discovery may have further destabilized an already fragile situation. For a man grappling with so much loss, both material and emotional, the events of that day must have felt overwhelming. Law enforcement officials are still actively investigating the circumstances that led to the fatal shooting, and no official motive has yet been disclosed. However, the pieces of the puzzle that have emerged suggest a confluence of personal struggles, unresolved tensions, and possibly mental health crises that led to the deadly confrontation. While the full truth may take time to surface, what remains undeniable is the profound loss felt by those who admired Joss for his artistic contributions and the unique space he held in the voice acting community. Joss was more than just a voice actor. He was a cultural ambassador who used his talents to bring visibility to Native American characters in mainstream media. His role as John Redcorn wasn't just a character, it was a symbol of representation that resonated with indigenous communities across the nation. His performances were imbued with dignity, humor, and pathos, and they helped pave the way for a more inclusive entertainment landscape. His loss is not just personal to those who knew him but communal for those who found inspiration in his work. As the investigation continues and the legal proceedings move forward, friends, fans, and colleagues are left grappling with the reality of a world without Jonathan Joss. Tributes have poured in from across the globe, with many taking to social media to share memories, voice their grief, and celebrate his life. Vigils have been held in his honor, and fans of King of the Hill have revisited episodes featuring John Redcorn as a way to commemorate the man behind the voice. In the coming months, the courtroom will become the stage for a legal battle that aims to bring justice for Joss and his loved ones. The hope is that through due process, the full story will be told, accountability will be established, and some measure of closure will be attained. Until then, the legacy of Jonathan Joss will continue to echo through the lives he touched, the characters he brought to life, and the void he leaves behind in a world that desperately needs more voices like his. Born in San Antonio, Texas, Jonathan Joss was a proud Native American of Comanche and White Mountain Apache heritage. His roots played a central role in shaping his identity and his artistic pursuits. A graduate of the University of Texas at San Antonio and later the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, Joss honed his craft with discipline, passion, and a deep respect for his culture. He made his debut in film and television in the early 1990s, and it didn't take long before he captured attention for his commanding screen presence and distinctive voice. While his role in King of the Hill brought him national recognition, his body of work was diverse, ranging from film appearances to stage performances, each reflecting a commitment to authenticity and representation. Joss believed in the power of storytelling as a vehicle for change. He was vocal about the importance of Indigenous voices in media, often using his platform to advocate for Native American rights and visibility. His involvement in charitable causes, community outreach, and cultural preservation efforts earned him admiration beyond Hollywood. Fans saw not only a talented actor but a man on a mission to uplift others. His portrayal of John Redcorn was notable for how it challenged stereotypes. Rather than a caricature, Redcorn was a layered character with humor, heartbreak, and humanity. Through Joss's voice, the character came alive, giving viewers a rare glimpse into Native American life, beliefs, and struggles, even in a show that often leaned into satire. It was a performance that educated, entertained, and sparked important conversations. Off the screen, Joss was known to be soft-spoken, thoughtful, and grounded. He was fiercely private but deeply compassionate. Colleagues spoke of his generosity, his willingness to mentor young actors, and his unwavering dedication to his roots.